Boom, and there we are live. Seven, I hear that little man in the background back over there too. Just want to let you know that. So, hello everyone. Before we meet our guests, as usual, I'm gonna go off into my little intro, and then we're gonna get this thing popping on this podcast. First, before I start my intro, well, that's part of my intro. I want to welcome everyone out to the first podcast of 2026, Wizzo Talk. I appreciate your support wholeheartedly. All right. If you'd like to subscribe to Wizzo Talk, the link is in the description or scrolling right across the bottom of the screen. You can see it right there in green. Just make sure you hit that notification bell because I post according to my guest availability rather than on a fixed schedule. And if you'd like to be a guest, I'm always looking for guests here on Wizzo Talk. Send me a message on Paul Wizzo on Facebook. Post me a message here in the chat. Send the bat signal, carrier pigeon, whatever you got to do to get me the message. Hey, and we'll have you on the show. And just remember, whatever you do, it is absolutely free, 100% free to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate your support. And if you're watching this from Facebook, the link is in the description also. So just make sure you click that link so you can also follow me on YouTube. I appreciate that. We're going to meet our guests. We got one or two more people maybe joining us, and we're going to get this thing right on going on. Let me adjust the screen right here just for a second, and let's meet our guests right here.
Hey everybody, it is Cree21 Boom. Your girl, I can be found on Facebook, YouTube. Paul, thank you again for having me on your podcast. Welcome back, Seven. And let's get it started. And I like this one. This one is about positivity, so I'm there.
All right, that's right. That's what's up. Let me go and invite this guest right here. Boom, this one right here.
God damn it, Seven.
Yo, this your boy 7 Points of Bliss, aka the Pomegranate Samurai. Thank y'all yet again, man. And sorry if I made anybody feel uncomfortable out there, man. I got sick for a little bit. And if y'all want to check me out under After Real Truth, under all major social media platforms, y'all can do that. I'm on Threadless too, After Real Truth. And thank you.
All right, that's what the business is. Now let's get this guy right here on Boom.
Look who it is.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, you know, I already know it's Rico. You can follow me at Riding with Rico on all the major platforms. And I'm so happy to announce the dynamic duo is back. Baby Pomegranate, man, with the tangerine, man. We can't get no better than that. That's all I'm saying.
Already.
What's going on, Seven?
Yo.
Hey, guy, before we get off into it, Rico, what the hell you doing thinking it's tomorrow, man? I sent you a link that it's today.
But you normally send the link the day before.
He did.
I did. I sent it yesterday.
Send the link. Oh, I didn't see that till today.
Jesus, take the wheel.
My bad. So I say, well, send me the link today. It must.
Hey, it's all good either way it go. Hey, I'm glad to have everyone on the show. And like I said, we're going to, you know, with Wizzo Talk, you already know it's not all about me. So we all talk about today is something positive. Not like we always talk about negative. And just like I told Cree a while ago, I said, well, we're not going to be long. She said, man, Wizzo, for real? Since it's positive, we're not going to be long. But hey, you just never know. So I just wanted to get that going and clear the air on that. So y'all, I just got one more thing that I just have to read out. And then we're going to get this thing popping right here. So Wizzo Talk is an unfiltered, unscripted podcast for mature audience. Nothing said here should be taken professional advice. We're voicing our opinions. That's all what we're doing. If explicit language makes you uncomfortable, this isn't the place for you. Focus on the message, not the delivery of it. I didn't even read that like I should have all the way through, but y'all know what I mean. That'd be my thing. I have some notes and I get to going off script like that other, I ain't gonna call his name. Anyway, with that being said, like everybody, whether y'all watching it right now or y'all catching it live, hey, we appreciate y'all support. We're just gonna talk about some positive things and everyone got a little something positive go. I'm gonna just talk about one of mine first. And then we just kind of work the room and then we just go from there. So it was about a month ago. Well, actually, it was before Christmas. I was in Killeen over my girl's house. I saw some kids walking up the street. There was two kids pushing a lawnmower. Ain't saw that in a long ass time. They was getting their hustle on. So I went over there to them. I told them, say guys, you know, I respect y'all hustle. I broke them off like $10. I gave them $10. And then I saw those two kids again this past weekend, just like on the third or the fourth or something like that. I didn't break them off nothing that time because all I had was a 20 and I didn't want to be broke. But my thing is, when you see kids out there doing something positive, because they easily could have been trying to sell drugs, push dope, do whatever, but they got a lawnmower, they had a tank of gas, they knocking on doors, just trying to see about, hey, if anybody need their yard cut. So if y'all ever see about come across anybody like that out there, hey, if you don't need your yard cut, just break them off anyway. Just let them know you respect that hustle. That's all I'll say on that right there. So let's come up here to Miss Cree. And that was just my little positive note for right there. It was just me. Anyway, Cree, what's up with you?
So you said the show is about positivity, but I got a little spin. Like I got a in my head. I really want to know, like, as black men, as men, period, in general. I know a couple of females who are dealing with unruly young boys, and they have tried everything like mental health, sports, and stuff. They messing up in school, they stealing from the house, and I dealt with that with one of my sons before, and thank God his father was available for me to send him to him and stuff like that. But the fathers are not in their lives, so like to get them on a positive note, to take them off that negativity and from them peers and stuff, like what would you suggest as men for them to do with their sons? And one of them was 12, and I mean he's just out of control, and the other one was 14, and then it was even a 9-year old. Like, and as a single parent, you still have to work. Like you can't like be there 24/7 to hold your child hand. So what would y'all suggest?
Okay. And before we
Um,
before we work the room on that, I'll come right to you, Rico. Y'all know how I go here on Wizzo Talk. I throw the title out there or the topic, but it's always gonna be that spin. So by all means, you don't have to hold yourself to that right there. So I just want to put that out there. That just be something that I be looking for, and not to bring up 40 whatever his name is today. Anyway, so with that being said, let's go over here to Rico, and then we hit seven, and then myself will go ahead and say something on that. Rico, what can we do with those kids?
For me, I love that topic right there because it's so important, especially for our youth, like Cree was saying. But for me, I can speak on it because I have experienced it. I was in the military for over 20 years. I have 9 children. And I realized after I retired in 2018 that I didn't know my children, nor did my children know me. So what we can do is our presence. Because I had the ability to give them plenty of presents, but my presence wasn't there. And now that I'm around, I've seen the effect of me being in their life, that it has improved their life because now they have both sides of the nuclear family, I guess you could say. But it's important for the men to be there. A man is going to teach a boy how to be a man, and he's going to teach his daughter what she should expect from a man, how she should deal with a man, and things like that. So for me, just being there, being around, being present, being on the phone, any way you can be and have an impact in that child's life in the presence, that's what I believe that would help a lot.
Okay, I got to come back on it, but I need to see what seven gonna say first.
I mean, I gotta honestly admit, like what Rico said is 100% factual because, hey man, you know what I'm saying. You being absent is gonna lead them to ask a lot of questions and they're gonna be lost. But when you present, you could do stuff with them. Like you know what I'm saying. Like me personally, I'll teach them how to box. I'll make them all fight each other. You know what I'm saying. And they gonna be talking and it's just different types of stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? We can go hiking, we can do all type of stuff, but you gotta be there because you really gotta teach kids how to learn and how to have fun. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna teach them dynamics in a lot of different ways. So you gotta be present, man.
Right. And I hear what you guys are saying, but I think she was saying that the guy is not in the picture, right, Cree?
They're not. The
Okay.
fathers are not there.
The
They're not.
father is not there. So what you guys are saying,
Oh,
yeah, that's cool.
oh,
Oh, okay.
my bad.
Okay. I hold boy before I say what I was gonna say. Rico, now that you know the dad is not in the picture. So I think that's gonna change a little bit about what you might want to say. So the dad is not in the
Who's that?
picture. These kids are 9, 12, and 14, just kind of like, excuse me for just saying, like little renegades or whatever. So how can we
Um,
What
reach
advice
these
would
kids?
you
so
give
basically
to
what
these
you were
single
asking,
parents basically. What advice would you give to these single parents? Because they saying they tried everything.
That's
Um,
what she's asking.
I would say try to find a strong male role model. If the dad is not going to be
Yep.
around, it can be a grandparent, it can be an uncle, or even a friend. If a male needs to be there, because men, we're the one instill discipline, fear, structure, things like that. That's what they need. They need a man in their life, or a mom who's willing to go to the extreme to actually
Mm-hmm.
them, because hey, the Bible says, hey, discipline a child while you're young. If you do not, you are helping them to destroy themselves. And that is what's happening, because these kids didn't just start acting like that. So the moms need to be able to accept, okay, I got to give them some tough love. Like, if I don't know if are they giving them tough love, or they punishing them, or trying to punish them, whatever's not working, you got to step it up. Even if you have to get to a point where she feels like she needs to involve them people in her life, because if she don't, they're gonna lose these kids to the streets, because they're gonna keep getting in trouble. They're gonna not listen to the mom, especially if it's a boy getting up in age and he probably bigger than his mom. Yeah, they need to find a strong male role model, or give them some really, really tough love, even if they have to put them in the system, because they won't learn any other way without any discipline. Do y'all know the great James Baldwin? He said, a person who has never suffered can never grow. They must go through something.
Right.
You said it's
Got to.
James Baldwin.
James Baldwin.
Oh yeah, I gotta check that out. That sounds good, dog.
Yeah.
And Rico Rico said what I was going to say. You know, that man role model, and it don't have to be anyone that she's dating or whatever. Just someone she know. Me myself, back in the day, I was part of a Big Brother program at Temple High. One of the coaches that knew me, called me up. Hey, would you like to be a big brother to this kid? You know, and being a big brother don't always mean spending money on them. You know, sometimes
Yep.
it's just there to talk with them, to take them
Mm-hmm.
here, to find out what's on their mind. So my first advice to this parent, to these ladies, did you say they was all with his brother siblings? No.
No.
Okay. Well, to them, to the mothers, is that they have to find that man role model, because mom can be tough, mom can discipline this and that, but it's totally different when they're dead. So my advice would first thing would be to try to find a man role model. If that man role model is not there, shit, I don't know.
I
You
think the
know,
problem with that is they can't be consistent. You know, like if she's
yeah,
not in a relationship with him, like it's still gonna be like whenever they get an opportunity, because those men have families and stuff too. I said send them to boot camp.
Tough
yeah.
love.
Is that
Whatever
still a
it takes.
thing?
I don't know if they still have that, but they
Um,
may. And like Rico saying, sometimes you got to do tough love. And I hear you when you say those guys have families and they committed to this, they committed to other to their family and stuff like that. Well, back when I was younger then, when I was this big brother up here for this kid at Temple High and had my own family, but I still set time aside for that kid. And that's what you have to do. So that parent, whoever she is, they got to do a homework and make sure that this person is a good fit for you. Bring them in there, because they could come in there and just fuck their kid head all the way up.
mm,
So, but I hadn't heard from Seven. Seven, what do you think? What advice for these single parents with these kids?
Um, yo, I was adopted by my aunt, and my dad was around, but he wasn't around super heavy in a certain type of way that people expect men to be around. My dad did teach me a lot, and he showed me a lot. But my aunt, she knew that she was a woman and I'm a boy, and she couldn't teach me everything like to be a man. So she had me in male mentoring programs. She had male co-workers she was close with that would talk to me. I remember one day this nigga pulled me to the side straight up and tried to talk to me about sex. And I'm like, we already talked about that in class. Little kids talking, you know what I'm saying? But it was cool because he tried to really explain some stuff and make sure that I was mature enough to understand some things. And you really what Wizzo was saying and all you guys were saying about men having their own families, right? The thing is, when you got a woman looking for a man to mentor her children, either they gonna have to be lovers or really good friends. And the thing is, that man is gonna have to be capable of loving another child unconditionally like his own. because if that is the case, another family is not going to be an issue because he'll bring that kid around his other family, and that kid will be integrated in with that family and grow more. So it's like, man, people have to be willing to understand it does take a village to raise a child and be open. Because I've had female friends and they've had sons and they daddy wasn't around. And I just take them under my wing like they my own sons. Because first off, a lot of people don't know this, but kids will manipulate a woman way quicker than they'll manipulate a man emotionally. So children need fathers around because they know we don't play that kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? All that crying shit. Nah, go sit down, find something to do. But women are natural coddlers. Like they gonna take care, and kids use that to their advantage, right? So they really have to find either inside. So be cool with their daddy, get cool with him, and send him with him, or you need to find a strong male mentor that's capable of handling them kids mentally. Because if you find the wrong guy, they'll fuck them kids up even worse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard that she didn't step away for the heck. I don't know if you can still hear us. Can you, Cree?
I have. Can I add to that?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. She'll be back.
In like when we were kids, we got our butts whooped, and
Yep.
that's what scared the hell out of us, right? But in this day and time, that's not going to work. They're going to have to take their phones, turn off, change the Wi-Fi password, do stuff like that because these kids they act like they can't operate without a phone. That's like the toughest thing you could do for them. If that don't work, then you step it up to other ways. If they sneak out the house, lock them outside. Don't let them back in.
Lock
I
them
mean,
out.
you got to be rough on them, like
Yeah.
hard on them to get your point across.
Yeah, like you say, it's got to be that tough love off in there, And I've had to experience some tough love coming up with my kids, and I'm sure you guys, and experience some tough love. Rico, you say you got 22 kids, so
Okay, Wizzo. Okay.
Shit.
shots fired, shots fired.
Shots
I'm
fired,
fucking with you.
goddamn.
I'm fucking with you. But and that's just what you wind up having to do. So I have one other thing I wanted to tell her, but she hadn't came back yet. But when you got that, she said the kid is 9, 12, and 14 years old. They've been needing some act right for a long
For a
time.
long time, dog.
Yeah,
Hey, but we got to talk about the fact that these things didn't just happen overnight. These single mothers was not punishing these kids and giving them everything that they wanted when they was coming up. That's what caused all of this. The
Mhm.
9-year-old, I think, would be the easiest to
yep,
reel back in because of age. That 14-year-old, you're gonna really have to do some not tough love, some brutal, crucial, like lock them up over the weekend or something if they get in trouble. Tell them to keep them in jail, something like that.
yeah.
Because it's the 14-year-old a male or a female? Do you know?
I know. I don't know what she said. There she is right now. Is a 14-year-old male or female?
Male.
Oh yes. Oh man, and he looked like us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So hey, if you don't reel that young male in the streets, number one, he 14 and he acting like that, he already in the streets. But she don't have much longer before them people get him or he end up dead. I don't know what cities these kids are in, but out there in them streets nowadays, these youngsters they slang that iron quicker than we used to slang fish. So yeah, that 14-year-old, he needs some real tough love, Cree. Like in the weekend in jail over the weekend. Taking his phone not gonna do much. It's gonna make him act out. He gonna act even worse, especially if they only act good when they promise them things. The little kids take their phones. The 9 and 12-year-old take their phones. That's some act of tough love. Change the Wi-Fi password. But that 14-year-old, I'm sure he done snuck outside. Leave him outside. Do not let him in. If he has a key, change the locks.
Right.
You have to.
Well,
He needs to be shown he can't survive without listening to adults.
Is
All of them need to
police
understand
like
that.
really the answer? Like,
Is what?
in jail for the weekend. Is that really like?
I'm not saying like they have to get arrested, but if she has a friend that's in law enforcement, they can put him in a holding cell for a day or 5 hours or something to let him know what his future
Come
is.
on, man.
that's
Traumatized. I don't think so. For me, that's
Come on, she
let
being
me
too soft.
let,
This a boy.
See,
let me
but
say
difference between men and women. A woman give a child, her kid, her son, grown son who on crack money if he smoked her TV. Daddy gonna beat his ass or put him out. No, that's
Bro,
what's wrong. You have to be tough on these kids, but so that they understand. If you are not tough on a child, they're not going to understand that their actions have consequences. With that 14-year-old, he got 2 years and he's locked up for a long time, possibly, if it's not brought under control quickly.
Let me, right. Let me say this. Sevens. Jay gave you a shout out too. He said, "Welcome back." I don't know if you saw that right there. This is one thing that I say also. I said about the big brother, but I don't think it should be someone that the mom is dating. Or sometimes the man can try to be trying to do the wrong thing and have some wrong intentions. I think she's just somebody. She need him there just for this purpose. And I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna make my point. Y'all, my kids got me this deal for Christmas, and now I'll be able to set up two other monitors, so I have three. But I didn't get a chance to set it up now, so I looked up something on my phone. I can't wait to get that. So, like, we talk about something, I can look it up and then come back and shit like that. Anyway, that's all stuff. So here I go. So what I did when you was talking about that, when I me mentioned about the big brothers, there's big brothers and sisters of South Texas, big brothers and sisters of Central Texas. So I would say have that parent to reach out to one of those organizations and let them know, hey, I have this child, this is what's going on. And they may reach out. I'm not in the system or something like that, but they may reach out to me. But the people that they're going to reach out to, I think, are vetted and and trustworthy as much as can be. So, to my advice to those parents was to reach out to one of these organizations, try to find a big brother for their kid or for their kid. The 9-year-old, and it's going to be way easier than the 14 and the 12 because the 14 is probably already smelling everything, probably didn't have sex already. So that one's going to be a little bit harder. And what Rico's saying, I don't think he's wanting to traumatize him, but long time ago it used to be something on TV where they take these guys to prison and let
Scared
them
straight.
visit. What
Scared
was it
straight.
called? Yeah,
Scared
it used to
straight.
be that. So we don't want to traumatize them, but we want to let them know, hey, this is for you out here. But start with the Big Brother deal. Reach out to those organizations and just see what they have. Because they already have someone that's kind of vetted. And what would really be nice is if you had some of these fraternity guys, Masonic, the Delta, the Kappa, whatever, something like that. Hopefully, it can be somebody that look like them or whatever, then that can relate more to it. But I don't know if any of those guys organizations do anything like that. But my point is, these organizations, I'm thinking that they already vetted these people and they got some big brothers out there and big sisters.
You know what's
So,
hard about dealing with men and finding meaning to like bring in your home in your
uh,
life, as a woman, a single parent. It's like you don't know what their intentions are. You
that's
know what I mean? Like I think Rico said it, or somebody
yeah,
said it, like you
I
don't know
did.
what the purpose is that they, oh sure, I'll be a big brother to your kid, and you know what I mean? Like, and then
Yeah,
what's in it for them? Like
yeah,
it's
that's
sad,
yeah,
but that's the reality of dealing with men.
yeah. They got the wrong deal. But see, in the Rico, I'm gonna come
I
right to
said
you,
it.
and that's why if she reach out uh this to this organization, well, it ain't like she's seeing me at the park or at the bar or at this or at that or whatever. She's seeing somebody. The organization is
and
sending
yeah,
someone over there instead of her trying to meet and talk to this guy. What up there? What up? What up, PM? Okay, Rico, what was you gonna say?
When you brought up the scared straight, maybe tell your friend with that 14-year-old boy, let him talk to someone. Maybe she knows someone who done spent some time in prison. Talk to him and let him know where he's on his way to, because I'm sure he's probably been through some of the same things that little boy is going through. Whether it's a fatherless home or stealing out in the street, gangs trying to sell drugs, doing drugs, whatever it is, drinking, all of that. Tell her that's another option. She could start at something simple to let him know what he can expect if he continue down this path.
Yeah. And when you mentioned uh, prison on the 10th at 3 o'clock is one of I don't usually do no podcast on no Saturday. That I'll be talking with two guys that's been to prison. One of the guys wanted to talk about this and life after prison, so to speak, would be not giving everything away. We talking about that that's next Saturday at 3 o'clock. But again, I'm gonna just say this, and then I'll let Seven, and then we can kind of move around. I still don't think it should be no one that she meets that the mother meets at Walmart or previously dated. I don't think she need to have no type of relationship because that
Yep.
guy probably is trying to get something else for himself out of that deal. So I think she should go through some organization, maybe even ask the school, hey, do y'all have a big brother program? Like I say, back in the day, Temple High had one. That's how they reached out to me and
Or
let them
if
know.
some or a man that she already trusts, like, and she know there's not going to be any advances towards her as towards like quid pro quo and stuff like that, or a man, prefer a older man, preferably someone he could look to like a father figure that he should be able to respect, because that man going to make him respect him. That's what he need. He need boys and girls need to know what fear is. Fear is good. Fear keeps you alive. Trust me, I know. And in war, if you're not scared, that means you're not as alert as you need to be to what's going on around you.
All
So
right, that's what's up. And before we come to 7, and then we hit Cree one more time. If anyone out there, y'all watching it right now, hey, she just asked about what was it, advice to give a single mother how to pretty much what I don't want to say control, discipline, maybe the 9, 12, and 14-year-old all boys, right, Cree? So what advice y'all
Oh, the
have for
12-year-old is a girl.
the 12-year-old is a girl? Okay. So what advice y'all out there that's listening right now y'all might have for these kids how to try to see about getting them some advice. Make sure they stay on the right track. 7. You got any other comment on that?
Hey man, I thought they was all boys. The 12-year-old is a girl. She needs to get her grandma or auntie or another woman she trusts to be around that girl, because one thing I've learned growing up and seeing women, when a woman has a daughter, hey, they gonna end up beefing after a while because women are very competitive with one another. You know what I'm saying? So they still need to get another woman in the picture for sure. And as far as the man, I agree with Creed, but that shit sounded funny as hell. You really need to know the agenda of that man, because you don't know what he gonna have planned. But I say that's for any adult, even another woman. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the mentoring programs my mom put me in was like church related, and I wasn't even a church kind of guy, but I learned a lot. They took us camping and all type of stuff. It's very interesting. But if you study psychology, you'll learn that it is very important for you to get a mentor for a girl or a boy, because a lot of the gang stuff where I'm from, them is just boys and they join gangs looking for other people to look up to. And it's just a bunch of little boys running around doing stupid stuff with guns and stuff like that. They don't care. They really just looking for somebody to give them some good advice. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, hey, if you could find you somewhere positive to talk to a guy that's gonna talk to your kids. Sometimes, what I do is, I know this gonna sound a little weird to some people because they have already explained it to me like it was weird, but like if I live somewhere and I see like a little kid or somebody and he looks needy or she look needy, I talk to him. You know what I'm saying? I ask them what their parents are. You know what I'm saying? I got a little kid right now in my crib. He playing the VR. He not even related to me, but his mom is a little crazy. He being raised by his grandma who extra old, and I see him, he's alone all the time. And then talking to him, I found out his dad died when he was younger, and the boy is only 10 years old. So I just let him play the video game, and I got him when I need to. But people have to understand how to take children under their wing. You know what I'm saying? Because it gets to a point, especially if you really love your kids. If you see another kid in need, I feel like every kid is your kid after you have a kid. You know what I'm saying? Being a parent isn't just your biological children. So we really have to keep our eyes open and understand. Because a lot of kids, like, bro, I was outside playing Nerf darts with these kids the other day, and this lady was like, it's just good to see kids outside playing. And I'm like, you got to come outside and teach these kids how to have fun nowadays. Because this little boy was throwing rocks in the middle of the street. He was bored. He didn't know he was bad. I had to teach him. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to keep our hearts and our minds open to these children and realize time is different, dog. These kids not growing up in the same age we grew up in.
Got you
um
covered on that, Cree. I got to go to Cree, but let me thank Rice and PM and Jay and all the viewers out there watching right now. Hey, we appreciate y'all support. Keep any comments coming in. We'll share them on the screen, and all our guests can also see them. Trying to see what advice we may have for this 9, 12, and 14-year-old kid that's like some little renegades, kind of so to speak. Cree and then Rico. Cree, what you got something else to touch up on?
I really just agree with Seven just said. I was gonna say like I was out of town one time and my Ring camera kept going off and I was putting it off. But when I finally watched the videos, it was about six little kids outside talking about breaking in my house and they knew I wasn't there because my car was gone. And yeah, I was like, I wish I was at home. Like I wish I was close by. I'd have
Yeah,
pulled up on their asses. Like they was literally like walking around trying to look through the windows. I was like, ain't nobody in there. They gone or she would have been out. Like they even know me. Like and they was plotting to break into my house. I wish I knew them. Like I was literally taking the pictures around to see who kids it was, so I could have a word with the parents. Like something needs to be done, and we talk about
right.
it all day long. But I'm
Yeah,
not even keen about taking no kids in because they highly disrespectful. Like
Mhm.
I don't know what the answer is, but I can pass on that advice, about the
yeah,
big brother clubs and that type of thing. Like that sounds good. Even church stuff, but people in the church like jacked up. Like it's so many
yeah.
jacked up people in the world. Like you just don't know who to trust.
I don't even
Like
really be
seriously.
fucking with the
And
church like
I
that.
don't know Seven, but I still won't let my 10-year-old go to his house and play no video games. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like we be on edge as parents, but the kids still like out of control. Like they probably doing it anyway, and we don't even know. Cause I remember my son being in so much trouble, but I used to work overnight. Well, I still work overnight, and he had all night to get in trouble. And he's supposed to be looking out for his younger brother, and he having his younger brother riding around with his homeboys in cars. But I had my neighbor watching the ins and out of my house, and I knew all that because my neighbor was telling me. But it's already done. So what can I do? Like I still got to go to work the next night. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
Mhm.
and it's
I
hard
got
getting people to come and watch your kids. Like, I'm just trying to think of ways like that I can help her, and I'm really like at a loss. And that's
right.
why that was on my mind to talk about today.
Okay, cool. We're gonna check that. Y'all check out that comment that Jay just posted. And Rico, what was you gonna say?
When my son had his first child, he had a daughter. I told him a few days after Nevaeh was born, I said the first male to ever let her down will be you. I believe that the females need the male just as much as the male children do as well, if not more, because a man is going to teach her, like I was saying earlier, teach her how she should treat a man, how she should act with a man, how a man should treat her. And if she respects that man, there are things she won't put on the internet. There are things she won't send to those little boys and things like that, because she has respect for that man. He's also going to discipline her and talk with her and let her know there's consequences behind her actions. But she needs a male for that girl. I thought it was all boys as well. She needs that a male, someone her mom trusts. It, I don't think it should be a boyfriend or anything like that, but some male her mom trusts. If the dad won't talk to her or be present, she needs him there to tell her, I love you, to know what it feels like to be loved by a man. That goes a long way with both children, but most importantly, a little girl who will eventually become with a man and shares a bond with a man, respect for a man. She's going to be able to deal with men on a deeper level than a little girl who didn't have a father in her life. Like I said, my kids, it was mainly the girls that I'm learning, and I've seen, since I'm around more, the impact and changes it has had on who they are. So I'm telling you, I can attest to that she needs a man.
Yeah.
Not I mean the little girl. She needs a strong male role model, someone who's going to care for her and love her.
And we'll say this, and then we'll see one more time if anybody got any comments. If not, then we'll go on and go to the next one. At a 9, 14, and 12, it's a lot more missing here at the story. We don't know when the man left out of the relationship. We don't know if he was ever in the relationship. We didn't ask some of that because some of that might not need to be shared. But you have to instill a lot of that stuff when they're young. And if the man was never in there, you know, maybe she didn't start reaching for help. It's just a whole lot of unanswered questions right up in there. But the end is all I say, Cree, is to have that parent or those ladies reach out to those organizations and see that way she's not out there trying to, I don't want to say campaign, but trying to bring a guy in that has the wrong intentions, trying to get between her legs and really not even care about her kids or anything like that. So that would be my advice in there. So last round on that right there, everybody. Let's see what's got. And y'all see what Jay talking about putting that belt on their ass. But
Yes.
and I'm gonna say this on this: it's a difference when the man put the belt and when the woman put the belt. It's the difference. But last go round, Creed, what you got on anything else? Or you through with it? Or
Yeah, I got nothing else on that.
okay, seven.
So, when it comes to that type of stuff, being the disciplinarian, hey, I'm a firm believer is you gotta be kind of creative with that shit. I done made kids do exercises till they start shaking and crying. Hey, man, when I was a shorty, my mama, hey, one of the scariest things I ever experienced, and I know this shit has snapped some kids into reality. Have y'all ever got y'all ass whooped out of your sleep? I was asleep. My mama started beating the shit out of me, and that terrified the fuck out of me because it ain't nothing like you having a good dream and then pain just starts striking your ass. That'll get you right. A lot of these kids, they not used to no type of real tough love, and they feelings get hurt. You know what I'm saying? We talking about kids from an era of everybody gets an award for participation. That didn't happen when we were shorties, nigga. If you didn't motherfucking get first, second, or third, you wasn't getting shit, nigga. And third place got the worst. And these kids are very sensitive. You know what I'm saying? You could say something to them and they ass to be crying, but you like, bro, I'm in that mindset. Is if I got a boy and he trying to buck up, nigga, I'm going to buy some boxing gloves, nigga. We gonna have this out because if it's a woman, you best believe once that boy start feeling himself or that girl start feeling this they self, they gonna buck up with that motherfucking woman. You know what I'm saying? They gonna make sure they ain't gonna do that to no man though. If you presenting yourself as strong and as the leader, you know what I'm saying. So a lot of people need to get their children in that mindset that if you gonna have a strong mind, you gonna have a strong body too, right? And we are seeing a generation of people that just willing to be like, I just gotta work. I don't feel like dealing with this. Go to your room. These kids got too much shit in their room. You know what I'm saying? I've experienced the most racism I've ever experienced on motherfucking the PlayStation or virtual reality or something. These motherfucking kids is crazy. These parents is not teaching their ass right, man. So we really need to get back into the mindset of being creative with how we handle these kids, man.
Already. And Jay, I know what you talk about, man. You ain't nobody asked you nothing, man. Watch out there. I know exactly who that is. Rico, what you got on here before we move on?
Lastly, I don't have nothing else left to say about that. But when
Mhm.
Seven talked about getting a whooping, woke up out your sleep with a whooping, it made me remember a funny story. I tell you, it's my friend. We call him Big Jolly. He's 6'7", like 300 pounds, big, huge man. And he's once he was got the teenager, he got so big, his parents wouldn't whoop him while he was awake because he tear the whole house up. He was falling over. He was so big, and so they started waiting until he go to sleep. So he would literally stay when he knew he was in trouble. His parents would come to his dad, would come to the door, his mom, and look in there, and he like, I'm not asleep because while he was in his bed. Yeah. So when you said that, that gave me a funny memory that he told me about that.
That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, let's move right on along there. Rico, what you got out there for us today? What you gonna throw out there for us out there?
Man, I want to get a clear understanding. Are we just talking about something positive in our life, or that has happened in our life, or just something positive going on in the world, or like what like? Can you explain that to me?
Yeah, sure. I have no problem. Just positive. Or if you want to throw some negative. We just on the podcast. I, I don't want to, sometimes I don't want to put I always say, this here is going to be about positive, 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 but sometimes I don't want to do that because then sometimes, y'all be wanting to hold it right there to that, but y'all know how we do it. So
Okay.
whatever you want to go and throw out there, I really just don't want to bring up Trump,
Oh
so
no.
if we can have this podcast without bringing up Trump, then that's cool. So yeah, whatever you want to throw out there, man.
Okay. Well, for me, I want to speak a little bit on something about myself because I see me as a positive person. um I've went through all kinds of things in my life, and I was a bad child. So I want to say this to any children out there, getting back to what Cree said, that no matter the situation you're in, whether you're impoverished, which I was, raised by my grandparents who lived on a fixed income and had 7 grandkids they took care of. um it's always something positive can come out of it. All you do is just keep your mind positive. Manifestation is real. If you constantly telling yourself you will do this, you will do this, and you speaking positivity into your life, whether you writing it on the mirror in the bathroom, that's what I used to do, and you say those things every single day, those things will manifest in your world. Don't ever give up on what's out there because you have something bad going wrong for that moment in your life. There's not a bad day, there's not a bad week, there's not a bad month, there are bad moments. We become more, like James Baldwin said, a man or woman, they can't grow unless they've been through something. So when you're going through something, no, that's just an attest to what you have. And you're going to keep climbing and climbing as long as you don't give up. And if you don't have the ability to feel like you can overcome anything, take small things and accomplish them. Then you get the confidence to where you can accomplish those big things, because confidence is everything when you dealing and playing this game called life. Because to me, it's all a game. You either play to win or you lose in the game when you make mistakes. So don't give up. Know that it's only a bad moment. You can always change it around if you don't give up. What y'all think about that?
And I'm sure somebody out there right now probably just kind of like when me and Cree was saying earlier that preacher talking to him like they must be talking about me. So I know they talking about me or something. You know how you be in church somewhere and the preacher be preaching that sermon and he's saying he'd be like, man, that fit me just perfect. So, but anyway, anybody got any comment on that? The Rico saying,
And man, what he was saying is mad factual, because I was just trying to tell somebody this the other day. I got two computers. One is a newer one and it stopped working right. But I was trying to fix on it and I couldn't make no type of leeway. That shit was keep getting worse and worse. So I'm like, yo, I told them, I'm like, I need to work on this other computer that's good and get it working better. And it's gonna give me the confidence. I need a small win. Cause after so many fails, dog, you just feel like it's hopeless. You get you a few small wins in, you feel like you could conquer anything in your way, man.
Yes.
So man, I feel exactly where he coming from with that, because it's true. You need that confidence to go forward, because even growing up, like yo, when I was growing up, I was horrible at talking to girls. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll talk to a girl, she'll shut you down, nigga. I'd be hurt for a long ass time off that shit. And it wasn't until an older man told me, "Hey, young blood, you need to learn how to take no and use it as a strength." And he was right. Like when I started hearing no a certain type of way in my mind, I didn't even care no more, dog. It just made me even thirstier for the next target, cause like, bro, it teaches you so much, man. Like people have to have that certain type of strength, right? And that goes right back into having a certain type of men in your life. They gonna teach you that. You're not gonna always win. That's just like when you a shorty, right? You could be playing the game with your mom, like Connect Four or checkers. Me personally, I remember I was playing Connect Four with my mom, and she let me win like the first few games. So I'm feeling good as fuck. Like, yeah, I can outsmart her ass. And then she gave me this look. Hey, she beat my ass in every game after that. And I'm trying to figure out how the fuck that shit even happened, because I felt so smart and accomplished. You know what I'm saying? This is what you need older people for, this, so they can show you like you're not really thinking outside the box, right? But if you don't let somebody have a few small victories, they gonna just give up. People need that confidence, man. And these kids, they get the confidence from the weirdest fucking places. Me talking crazy, man. They need older people to show them and to have that confidence, man. And it's very important though, especially like when you're looking at stuff like jobs and stuff. You need that confidence, man.
I tell you this for Cree go, if I'm going up against a kid in pool, checkers, or whatever, and I can beat his ass or her ass, I'm beating that ass. I ain't gonna let him win shit. I'm gonna beat them and let them know, hey, you ain't finna just. I'm not finna just give it to you. You're gonna have to come over here and take this shit. You're gonna have to earn it. And speaking positive and like Rico's talking and stuff like that. And I think that we are seeing this now, but the generation of kids is so different from the way we grew up, and it's totally different. And I'll say this, and I'll make another quick point, then go to Creek. Cause right after Christmas, I said, let me go outside, and I was looking, and I think I only saw like two kids outside on bikes or whatever,
Crazy,
Shit, when we was coming up, man, it was the whole damn neighborhood.
bro.
You know, here we couldn't even find where my bike was at because we didn't left it somewhere down the street or whatever. But my point is, it's just a whole new different generation of kids, and what worked for us and what we did back then is not going to work, I think, now. But at the same time, I think you do need a role model. You need somebody that can kind of keep up with the day, the age, and the time, and different things like that. I jumped on that role model shit about the kids. But let me see what Cree got right there. Cree, what you got on what Rico was talking about?
Well, I got a couple of things.
Okay.
Not Rico. That wasn't Rico. That was seven. What we talking about?
Well, seven, but Rico put the deal out. But yeah, go ahead. What seven did?
I must have
Like,
been doing
comment on
something
it.
when Rico was talking. Uh, well, I got a couple of things.
Yeah,
I definitely think that we as a people need to start practicing like acts of kindness and teaching our kids to do the same thing. There are so many selfish, self-centered kids in this world, and so many families, including mine. And as parents, like we do for our kids and stuff like that, and they really don't do nothing for us. Like, and they have that expectation that we supposed to do it for them, and if we don't do it for them, they got a problem with it. They upset and they mad at us or whatever the case may be. Like, I'm not even big on like Christmas or anything like that. However, like if it's kids, because that's all I really care about. Like when it's that time of the year, like and they need or don't have or whatever, when I was growing up, like we draw pictures and make pictures and do stuff for the parents. You know what I mean? Like I'm not sure what happened with that because now they not doing nothing for the parents, and the kids just hand out and expecting so much from their parents and from the other adults. And then when you don't do for them, maybe because you can't or whatever, they seem so ungrateful. Like I really think people should practice having gratitude, like just being grateful for the little things. Like there are people who don't have roofs over their head, food to feed their kids, clothes, shoes. Like we need to teach our kids like to be grateful for what you have. And even as adults, like, and that's one part of it. And the other part is like people are not property, right? It used to be back in the days, but people are not property. Like for some reason, like people take uh other people kindness for weakness, and that really bothers me. And even if somebody is mean to me or nasty to me, I'm still kind to them. You know what I mean? Like because that's how I want to be remembered. Like she, no matter what you did to her, she still didn't snap. She just walk away from it. Like we could teach our kids that because these days they want to match the energy. Like I see that all the time on Facebook. I'm matching energy. Like there are consequences behind every action, right? So I think that if we teach them gratitude and the no part what Seven was talking about, it helps us build resilience. Like when somebody tells you no all the time, or if they tell you yes on the flip side of it, like a dad spoiling his daughter, giving her everything she wants, and then she grow up and be in reality and realize she's not gonna get everything she want from a man, and now she throwing fits. You know what I mean? So, but if you told no over time, and I know I'm just jumping from subject to
that's
subject,
okay. I
but
do that shit all the time.
if you do learn the word no, you know what I mean, you won't be so upset when you hear it. So if you heard it a few times, you won't be so upset, like a breakup or something like that. Like it's okay. Like we need to teach these kids. It's okay if somebody don't want to be your friend. It's okay to not be included. Like your
Yep.
people are going to be your people regardless. Like you don't have to fight to be included in some BS. And who knows what they over there doing anyway? Why you want to be a part of it? And like these kids are like hurting themselves and cutting themselves at a very young age because they're not being accepted by their peers who are probably on drugs and full of shit anyway. So it's like having to instill in your kid that strong individuality, you know what I mean? Just being grateful and have gratitude for what they do have and who they are, and to be different and set themselves apart instead of want to go with the crowd.
Got you
And
on
I'm
that.
done with that.
All
I
Like
right.
I'm
agree
so
with
passionate
that.
about it though, friend. Like it just really bothers me how ungrateful some people are. Like, man,
No doubt. No
go
doubt.
ahead.
Go ahead, Rico, and then I'm gonna say something. Then let Seven say something. Go ahead,
Okay.
Rico.
I just want to say this to the people out there, whether it's a grown man, grown woman, or even children. I am you. I done sold dope. I done talked back. I done got kicked out of school. I done went to jail. I done did it all. I didn't listen to anyone. I was told I wouldn't live to be live to by many adults. I wouldn't live to see the age 18. That's how incredibly bad I was as a child. It doesn't mean just because of what you're going through right now that you can't come out for the better.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
can. Let me see how I want to say it, because I don't want to put too much out there. It takes a village. I had different people in my life who to this day probably still don't know the things they've done, but I listen to them. Find someone around you in your life that you can control, that you can trust and listen to. And if you listen to them, I guarantee they have a strong effect in your life. You can overcome all those things that I done been through. Some of you probably can relate to these things. I used to think that my future was in prison because that's what all the young boys where I grew up at, they done. They started selling dope in high school and they sold it and went to jail, lived in and out of prison for the rest of their lives once they got out of high school. So you can do it. I'll lastly say this. Um, what did my grandfather told me? He told me that in order to be comfortable for a lifetime, you must be willing to be uncomfortable for a moment in your life. My uncomfortable moment was the military. I didn't want to do it. I didn't like it, but I knew with all the kids I had and I was married, it was the easiest way for me to take care of my responsibilities. The military doesn't have to be your answer, but only you can find your answer.
Mm, just like that. And I'm just gonna kick on one thing and say when Cree had mentioned Christmas a little bit in your when you was talking, and I forgot exactly what it was, but I'm just gonna say what I'm gonna say anyway. Um, three of my kids have kids, so you're my grandkids. So I sent my grandkids gifts this year for Christmas, and I didn't get my kids anything. I ain't getting shit, but I've gotten them something for every year, and every time they all grown now. One of them make more money than I do, whatever. And I wasn't gonna get them anything. I like shit. I ain't getting nothing, but they wind up surprising my ass, and then they wind up then got together and had me send a list out to them of what I wanted, right? So I sent a list from Amazon, sent it to my oldest son, and I put off in the comments, I say, these are some of the less expensive things or something like that. I'm not gonna send the big stuff. So my oldest son put in our group chat, he said, y'all look at him, acting like we don't have no money or nothing like that, like we can't afford the big stuff. And I'm sitting back laughing and shit, kind of like Cree doing. So I said, well, bet. I said, all right, cool. So I send them some things that I wanted. There was a couple of $100 or whatever and stuff like that. But one of my youngest son gonna say off in there, he like, shit, I bless you. He's like, shit, I don't have no money.
Excuse me.
But you know, but they surprised me by doing that. And I'm gonna show y'all this right here. This right here is, where I can press some caps. And I'm gonna show you this right here. So I went on and had my little Wizzo Talk logo deal made, right? So that was one of the things that they wind up sending me. So now when I buy some caps, I can press my own little Wizzo Talk logo
Okay.
on there and stuff like that. There won't be a whole bunch of colors because to get the bulk rate, you got to buy so damn many, and I'm not buying that many and stuff like that. But just touching on the things about them for Christmas, I've given my kids all that I didn't have when they was coming up for Christmas. Now me, I look at Christmas totally different. I'll be like, I don't want shit for Christmas. My girl tell me, quit saying that. But my kids surprised me, and I just wanted to point that out and thank them for that. Even when you heard me mention my little other two screens, so now I'll be able to set up three screens when I'm doing my podcast, so I can research on one and talk on the other one. So don't take for granted that they don't have no money. They pooled together and they got their daddy something. I appreciate it. I didn't send them shit still, but I probably sent them something for their birthday. They've been getting shit, forever, and they still do. I send them stuff out of season. But I just wanted to put that out because you had mentioned something about Christmas. And Rico, to your point, a lot of people don't even know, but I've done some of those things. I hadn't been to jail, but I've sold a whole list of shit. But I'm gonna say that for another podcast. So come on up.
Let's
But
tell on ourselves.
we got to find a way to reach those kids. And then Cree, when you was talking about the kids that was outside your window, outside your door on the camera, I was outside my girl house the other day, and some little kid just walked up, just started talking to me about Pokemon cards and about this, about that. And my girl, she saw him on the camera, and she said, "Oh, you just ain't got yourself a little friend out there." It was just some kid riding a scooter, Just wanted somebody to talk to. And he told me about his daddy drive a Tesla, and his daddy this and his daddy that. And I looked over there 2 apartments down, and his daddy Tesla was right there or something. But I just gave him time to, I just listened to him because it's this one kid, and I'm going to say this right here and we'll move on. Uh, my youngest son would tell you everything from A to Z. He would break all that shit down and cover all that stuff. My other two, my oldest son, he'll get to the point, and my daughter, she will. But I told this one guy to, he have an 8-year-old grandson because the mother's not in the picture no more, so he took the kid in. And he said, man, Wizzo, the kid, he just talks my head off. He just talks so much. I said, man, just listen. I say, just listen to him. No matter what, if he tell you that 5 or 10 times, he just wants somebody to talk to. You'd rather him talk to you than to go and talk to somebody else out there in the streets and having them list, telling them the wrong things or saying something wrong to him. So just, you got a kid coming up to you, just listen. Sometimes you might not have to solve every damn thing. Just listen, because I know my second son, one time his mom, he went to tell his mom something. He had just a little bit of a stutter problem, just real small, but he's detailed. And she like, what is it? Just tell me, what is it? He's like, never mind. He didn't even want to say nothing about it then. But when I tell you, that mother called me every day, 20, 30 times a day. And I answer the phone and I listen. So sometimes just kind of listen to the kids. Y'all, I don't know where in the hell we went, but let me thank our viewers out there for watching. Hey, if y'all watching right there, hey, if you know Wizzo Talk, you know we will start at one spot and we will end up somewhere totally different. But I appreciate y'all hanging with us. Keep the comments coming in. If you like to comment, post them in the chat. I share them on the screen. If you got something for a certain guest, hey, let us know. And remember, whatever you do, it's absolutely free, 100% free to like, share, and subscribe. The link is in the description or scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Appreciate your support. Who we got up here next? Any other comments before we see what Seven had? Nope. All right. Seven, what you throwing out there for us?
Hey man, one of the some positive that I've went through recently, man, is I be getting on this little VR, this little gaming thing. It's called the little Meta Quest, man. I be on there and I get on there. I'll purposely get on there just to go bother people, man, because I think it's hilarious just to talk crazy. But I got on there and I went and I had seen a group of girls. So I went over there and asked them what they was talking about, cooking something in the kitchen or something, right? And they was a lot of them was young. It was one older girl, or older woman, and these girls were just talking crazy to me, like, you know what I'm saying. And they was like, I'm just a girl. I had got my first period when I was like 10. So I'm telling Shorty, I'm like, yo, really, that mean you're a woman? When you start having a period and stuff, that's nature giving you a sign that you're grown. But then Shorty was trying to tell me that I didn't know what I was talking about. But I was trying to tell her that I'm just trying to notify you of what nature is, because men have their own rules. You know what I'm saying? So we talking, and then I'm telling her about, she gonna get a boyfriend one day and all this other stuff. And she's like, I don't need that because I'm not doing that yet. And I'm trying to tell her, do you learn math as you're doing math, or do you learn math before you do it? It's the same thing with reading. Like, you learn it beforehand before you do it. And then, I was kind of amazed, man. That really helped her understand. And other women that was in the chat, I was like crazy that they just got it. I thought they was gonna fight me hardcore, but they was really cool, and I was really appreciative of them understanding more, because some people, it take them a very long time to learn in that manner. You know what I'm saying? Like, people seem like nowadays they have to go through it and then suffer and then get it. These people you was actually able to talk to them and get them to understand. And I think that's really positive, because today don't nobody really listen, man. So it kind of blew my mind just to even run into that type of energy, man. And I'm just really grateful to be able to be in the atmosphere with those type of people, because a lot of people didn't talk to me about shit. I had to find it out the hard way. I'm talking about suffering, dog, long nights of walking by myself and thinking, and you know what I'm saying? Sometimes when you get your heart broke, bro, sometimes you don't bounce back from that kind of shit right away, man. And I ain't just talking about getting your heart broke by a girl over love. You can get your heart broke by a friend. You know what I'm saying? and people are not willing necessarily to learn verbally. They have to learn through experience. So that was really nice, man. I really enjoyed that. You know what I'm saying? I learned a lot from that.
Right. So you had some women listening to you on while you on the VR. You went over there to start some shit, and then you wind up giving
Yeah.
class over there.
Yep.
Look at Janice.
That's
Why
what
you want to
Janice
come in and
said.
start stuff, Janice?
Hey, Janice.
Hey, Janice, what's up?
That's funny.
Hey, we appreciate you talking about it though. So that's what's up. We have glad you checking us out there. Anyway, hey, anybody got any comment on what Seven said right there?
Man, I don't think I had nothing to say on that. It was more of a story to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Okay, that's what's up, bro. Appreciate that, Mr. Davis, that checking us on out. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Like to have you on the guest one time. That'll be what's up. You know, well, what do you think about him when he said when the girl is having her period or her cycle, she's a woman.
Oh, yeah, I don't agree with that. No, Seven. If she 10, she not a woman. She may can do woman things, but she's not developed enough to say she's I want a woman. Like you saying a woman meaning like a man can have sex with her?
Of course, you would think immediately that.
Yeah,
No,
it's like that.
but no, because you say a woman. No, she's still a girl. That's all I'm saying. She's still a girl, a child.
I agree.
You know, it. Go ahead,
I was,
Seven.
about, I was about to say, if you thinking about it like that, there's a lot of people who we deem grown women that's still children, dog. Their mentality is still young, most of them.
But you think a child, a 10-year-old child, has the mentality of a grown woman?
I don't think that, but if we gonna go off like that type of stuff, then you have to think about old world standards of women, right? We talking about, dude, you may not think she is a woman yet, but shit, in Mexico, they marry them hoes off young as hell. You know what I'm
They
saying?
gotta be hoes.
That was covered.
Hey, well, look, that's about the only thing I really don't agree with that part about calling her a woman. Nah, I don't agree with it. I know she can get pregnant once they start their period and all of that, but it for me it takes more than a period to be a woman.
And I will say this. I think, and I don't know for sure. My daughter is grown, but I do know of a couple girls are starting getting cycles and periods, man, at 9 years old and whatever. And I think back in the day they used to be a little bit later than that. And I've read a little bit of something about all of the stuff that's in the food now. But
Yep.
like I said, I don't know. I didn't do no research on that because I didn't know we were gonna be talking about periods. But so
And we need to move right along.
yeah, we're gonna go over. But let me ask you this right here. So Creed, I just like for you to just tell us about your Taco Tuesday and your line dancing experience.
What? My Taco Tuesday?
Yeah.
What about it?
And your line dance experience, you out there with your Taco Tuesday and just tell me, in your line dance, because I see y'all be all over the place, different states, different countries, you know.
I ain't been in no other country with no line dance.
I was about to say that's a new one to me.
You know, I mean, it looked like you be having a good time out there. That's where I'm going with it. So when you say what about it, I'm just saying, is it fun? Is it boring? It look like it's
Okay, so
fun. Yeah.
okay, how I can relate positivity to that? Because I
Well, you
really
don't have to be positive. It can be
no,
negative. I'm just
but I
asking you
want
about it.
to. I want to.
Okay.
I want to. Um, One thing that's different in society today is that these kids are stuck to their phones and glued to TVs, and they're raising our children, and that is a distraction, nothing but a distraction. I think that dancing has helped me whenever I'm feeling sad, down, lazy, lonely, whatever the case may be. I can go dance and I'm happy. I think we all should have a happy place. I think we all should have a person that we can talk to that's gonna uplift us. I try to be that person as well. So whenever I'm dancing, when I'm around all these women and men, whatever, I try to maintain a positive attitude, positive vibe because I feel really good doing it. So that might be a good suggestion for people to do with their kids. Get them something, find something that they love to do and that they can invest in. That's another way to meet other people that have the same interests, a common interest, and possibly get new friends. So finding a hobby Another thing, exercising. I want to say stop eating, but we they had those additives in food. We really don't have to eat 3 times a day and have dessert and all this other extra stuff. That shit
Nope.
is killing us. So
Yep.
if you can exercise at least 45 minutes a day, 3 to 5 times a week, I'm telling you, you will feel so much better about life and yourself. And then you realize you won't need the poisons you put in your body. And if you stop drinking alcohol too. No, I haven't completely stopped, Rico, but I promise you I'm very
New
close to
Year's
stopping.
resolution shit.
I'm gonna
No,
find
I
out
Well,
don't do New
tomorrow.
Year's resolutions.
I'll do
I'm
that
gonna
shit.
find out
Yeah.
No,
tomorrow,
I don't.
Cree.
Right.
Huh?
Well,
I'm gonna find out tomorrow.
I'm
What's
gonna say
tomorrow?
this.
I'll be there. But anyway, Taco Tuesday is also a pretty good vibe. I wish they like. I think with the music though, when he play that ratchet music, the ratchet people come out. Like, but when he stick to like the Southern soul and the line dancing and stuff, we just be in there grooving and dancing and having a good time. So I want less ratchet. If you watching the podcast, DJ, we need less ratchet and more Southern soul. And it's usually a good time, good people. I love also another good thing, your company, the crowd you keep, either they're influencing you or you're influencing them. So I like to think that I'm a good positive role model and a good influencer because like I said before, like I don't match negative energy. I try to remain positive all the time. So I won't just stop talking to you or give you distance. So you don't have to seek revenge or match energy. The best revenge you can give is to no longer allow access to you, and you can still be a great light for everybody else who want that light.
And I'm gonna tell y'all this, and then I'm gonna say a couple things and let somebody else go. Sex is considered exercise, so y'all make sure y'all know that sex is considered exercise. Um, Cree, and see, you go, Janice, on the shade,
Let
and then
love lead.
you go, you gonna ask
Let
me, well,
love
what do
lead.
you want? Now listen, look at all what you just shared with us about that. See, I
What?
had to get you going and get you primed on it. When I said Taco Tuesday and line dancing, you was like, well, what do you want me to say? I ain't got blah, blah, blah. And
Yeah,
here
because
you didn't went on. Go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
Because I don't know why kids are on my mind and like real hard. And I don't even have any grandkids or nothing, but I have a lot of nieces and nephews, and I can already see like and the neglect of positivity like surrounding them. You know what I mean? And we all like going through something, and sometimes you can't help but like project whatever it is you're going through. You know what I mean? Like I went through something the other day, and like I was very like mean. Like you knew it wasn't me because like I had an attitude, and people
Right,
been checking on me. And thank you all for y'all, the ones that reached out to me, checked on me to make sure I was good. I'm good. I'm okay. I'm surviving. I'm very resilient. Like I know I'm grateful. Like that's why when you ask how I was doing, I'm still alive. Like I could have not made it. Like I be thanking
yeah,
God made it every day I wake up. So
right,
I went through something serious, and I'm already like moving forward. Like I'm not looking back. I mean, in a positive manner. I already forgave. I mean, like that's huge, right? So you need to forgive too. Like holding grudges. I know people who hold grudges for years, for ages. It's like, whoa, why do you even want that energy around you?
For
Like
real.
doing stuff to hurt people just because they're hurting. That is the wrong answer. That only makes it worse. That does not make it better. But it make you feel good temporarily, so people do it. I don't do it.
right. And let me say this, and then we'll work the room. When you were talking about dancing, make you happy. I've said that forever because I swing dance. I met you when you starting or whatever. That's why I call you Cinderella. When you left with shit, never saw you no more. Whatever. That's a long story, but it just makes me it when I'm out there. I can been and just lost every fucking thing I own, but when I'm out there dancing, I'm just in my zone. I'm just happy. I don't worry about shit. You know what? My lady know I dance with probably 20 or 30 different ladies or whatever, and it's just my happy zone. And just to go back to when you mentioned kids again, like the little girl that's the 12-year old. I don't know if her mom line dance or dance, but maybe she can relate and do something. Oh, she don't. Okay, but that might be something that I was thinking about. They could have kind of related to, but since you said
You,
no, no.
you know,
But
Fran, I'm gonna tell you this: like, it's so hard. The economy and the president. I'm sorry, we don't want to talk about him, but it is so hard on people that they need more than one job. like to take care of all these children. Now you hear somebody say they shouldn't have had all these kids. You hear somebody say they should have picked a better man. You hear all that, but it's irrelevant because we got to deal with the here and now. It's too late. Can't go back. Can't turn back the hands time. Make better choices. You have to deal with what you have now. And if you have kids and they looking up to you, take care of them. You do what you have to do. So two of those ladies I know for a fact have full time jobs and then have side hustle jobs. So it's almost like they don't even have time and energy that's
Yep.
needed to get the kid where the kid need to be. And I think one of y'all said it, just like, I don't even feel like dealing with this. Go to your room. That's the type of energy. If they're really look like ready to give up on their kid, and it's like, you can't give up on your damn kid. You all
They
they
didn't ask.
got. The
They
damn
didn't
dad
ask to be
gone. You
brought here.
all they got.
Yeah. They didn't
Yeah.
ask to be brought here. Let me ask you. Yeah, they didn't ask to be brought here. So if you
Right.
dead, tired, dog, whatever, you still got to. And mothers handle that way better sometimes than guys. But let me ask Rico this right here. Rico, I know on one of the other podcasts you talked about you ran for office. I forgot what it was that you ran for. But my
Mayor,
question, what was it?
mayor.
Mayor. So, but I just wanted to ask you, any thoughts about running for office again?
Who?
Not in the town that I did it in because at what I went through, of doing that, I feel like those people they not ready for change because like Cree was saying, holding on to grudges and stuff. It was people who didn't want to vote for me because of things from our childhood, and stuff like that. And some more different things went on. But I wouldn't do it there. But I thought about it. I think I can do more good things behind the scenes.
Right,
So I
right.
probably won't run again.
Okay. All right. That's y'all read Janice. I gotta get Janice back on the show again. Seems like when she on the show, she definitely get Rico and Seven distracted sometimes with them twins looking at them. I don't know.
Yeah, that's funny.
She brought them twins to Taco Tuesday a couple weeks ago. I
She
said,
did.
girl, what you the twins outside today?
Boy, look at her. Okay, boy, look at her. She just handling them. But so let me ask this. I got one more question to ask. I'm gonna ask Seven this, and then y'all we gonna see if anybody got any comments. Like I said, I don't want to hold you guys too long. But Seven, I know you had went out hiking with some friends here a while back. So what's up with that? You getting ready to get back out there doing any hiking and experiencing nature? I'm gonna tell you because I ain't hiking shit if I can unless I can take my pistol and a knife and a machete and a helmet and a hat and a whole bunch of other shit like that. So you was out there in the wild. You ready to get back out there with that Seven?
Yeah, I love hiking, but the funny thing is, the people that I was hiking with didn't even know I had a gun on me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't be talking about that type of shit. I'm not going out there, especially out here in Texas, without something on me, like you said, because it's some
Mm-hmm.
wild fucking animals out here, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different in Chicago. At least in Chicago, I'm still gonna take me a knife in Chicago because they got coyotes and shit out there. But here, you'll never know what you might run into. But I'm definitely down. um I wouldn't suggest just going hiking with women, you know what I'm saying? Unless you want to hear a lot of motherfuckers talking about feminine things, but it's not bad. It's just that I prefer the quiet, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, women gonna talk about some deep shit sometimes.
Oh, open up. Shots fired. Cree, what's up with that?
I don't. You know what? Don't go with a bunch of women then. I mean, at least he know. If he prefer quiet, then go with men because they ain't got nothing to say, but they hold it all in and then
What?
explode
Ooh.
in an
Hey,
instant
no, no,
like
no,
this.
no, no. Hold
Walking
on a
quick
minute. Wait,
time
wait.
bombs. You
Shots
don't know when
fired.
you gonna trigger them.
I do a whole lot of shit in myself. I will tell Janice this right here when she talking about use birth control. Well, if you messing with one that's already been nipped, clipped, stamped, burnt, and thrown, fried, lied, day to the side, you don't have to worry
Man,
about no birth control. You can just go and have a party up in that motherfucker. So ain't loose
Right?
cannon.
My
So that's it.
goodness. Mm.
Y'all, that's all I have. So before we get ready, did anybody have any comments or anything to bring up? Nothing. We good.
I'm good.
All right,
I want to
all
bring
right.
up something.
Bring it up.
Why do people assume so much? Like, what is that about? Like making assumptions instead of just asking people what it is they want to know. It's like they don't remember what's fact versus what their thought is. Like there's some confusion in there. And I know men say women live in this delusional world and not reality, but there's a lot of men who live in that same delusional world. And the facts could be right there, and yet they still believe what they want to. How do
What
you
was the
get
first
people
part of
to
that?
that?
Why do they assume so much? Some
Yeah,
people,
why do people assume
Oh,
instead of remembering what's fact versus what thoughts they have in their head?
I would
I think.
think. Oh, go
Oh, go
ahead.
ahead. Go
No.
ahead.
Oh, I would think that it like when you come to a person assuming something, it has more to do with that person's character, the things they've been through. Do they trust? Do they have insecurities? You know what they have going on. Because like we talked earlier about confidence, if they don't have any of that, they're going to just let those things play around in their mind, and it's going to become what they thought into their mind. What I thought
It's
it
going to
is, that's
become
what it is,
real to
instead
them.
of just asking a question. Maybe they don't have the confidence to ask you, well, would you clarify what you mean by what you said? You know, it goes into a lot of mental factors for me why people assume things. For me though, I'm just going to ask a question because I like to know.
You took what I was gonna say, especially when you say have the confidence to go
Yeah.
ahead and ask. They just sit back, especially probably if they with some guys or whatever, sitting back over there just got shit running instead of just going speaking it. And
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say coward, it's just maybe the confidence in there. So, but you took what I was gonna say. Uh,
But is it healthy? Do you find that healthy, like holding stuff in? You say you
It
hold a
is
lot of
not.
stuff in. Do you find that to be healthy?
It
I
is
don't.
not. Oh, yeah, I thought you were talking to me.
Well, she
No,
talking to all
I think,
generals.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I go and then Rico, and then we hit seven. No, I don't worry about if it's healthy or not. I hold a lot of shit in, and usually, if when a guy brings up something to his lady or whatever, he's probably been thinking about it, wanting to say it probably for a while, but just never have said it. You know, we've said that on here before. I don't know if it's healthy. I don't think about it, but it doesn't affect me because it's not like something where I sit there and just where I can't sleep. I still sleep good at night. I still got a good appetite at night. I do hold grudges, but I don't let them assume me at all because it doesn't affect me at all. So to answer your question, if it's healthy or not, I never thought about it. I don't think about it, but I will hold a grudge on the motherfucker forever, and I will not forgive
That's
them
crazy.
forever. And I'll tell you just one thing right here. You know, I was probably in the eighth grade. My brother was murdered. I'm not going to forgive that motherfucker. People always talk about my oldest brother. People talking about, well, I forgive him because God want me this, God want me that, and whatever. I'm not forgiving that motherfucker. Fuck him
So you don't
twice.
buy into forgiveness being for you and not the other person?
I'm not forgiving nobody for shit. Because if you're gonna be trying to forgive them, why you do it for in the first damn place? But to answer your question again, because sometimes I get off script, I don't know if it doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect the way I eat, sleep. I don't be a job. I don't be stressing out. I don't do any of that. So I will hold a grudge. I will hold shit in, but eventually I will let it out. But it won't come out violently because I'm not that guy. But every action recalls a reaction. So if you come the wrong goddamn way, then I'm gonna come at you just like you gave me that shit. But I don't
Imagine
hold that
that.
shit. But I don't hold any of that. But I will. I'm a grudge holder. Fuck it. But Rico, what was you gonna say? Then we hit seven.
for me, it's very unhealthy. If you're looking at it from a mental standpoint, it's very unhealthy. A psychologist I used to go to, he told me if I wanted to keep my brain as long as possible as I aged, to talk, just get out whatever thought. It's not good to keep these thoughts in your head because they start to ruminate. And everyone, if you don't know, you will know this today. Your thoughts will always control your emotions. Your emotions will control your actions, and your actions will dictate your outcome. So if you sit around and let something ruminate in your head, guess what? Eventually, someone probably going to get that anger that don't deserve it because it's just going to keep building and building and building. And not just that thought. If you let one thing go, you're gonna someone else going to offend you and eventually. So I think it's better to get it out, ask a question, don't assume anything. This way, you know you're dealing in facts when you ask a question. Not knowing is there's people out there not talking like right now, family members, all because they don't want to have an uncomfortable conversation. I think that's dumb. So it's
or
best.
or holding a grudge from something that happened years ago.
Yeah, and in
With
this
his
day and time,
parent or
we need
sibling.
family,
It's
we need
insane.
friends we can trust. Yeah, so I think it's better to get it out.
I will
Rico,
hold that
that might
grudge
have
and
been
I
the
still
best
talk.
thing I heard you say since you've been on podcasts. Let me go
But
ahead and
but
clap for you right there.
my only thing about Rico, I've been knowing Rico since we've been podcasting right here, and I know Rico can say a whole lot of shit. And I just don't know if we're around certain people if he'll go and let some of that shit out that's on his mind. But I don't know him that well.
Oh.
Reed may know
He
him
just
better than
let it
I
out
do.
what was on his mind. He can be
Well,
positive. That was
well,
good.
I'm talking about if we was out. So, but I don't know. He said he will, but I mean, cause I'm just saying there's some things that he probably be.
It sounds like
We
he
won't
don't
go there.
believe you, Rico. It
No,
sounds
it's not that. It's just I don't want to get off into that other part of it. But Seven, you got anything? I get with him on it offline about it.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
I personally would keep a lot of shit to myself and keep it in. I recently dealt with death of a friend, and I kept that in, and was really dealing with some crazy shit, and that led me into going into uh a diabetic coma. You know what I'm saying, for like damn near 2 months, man, because I was eating my feelings, and so I feel exactly what Rico was saying. And I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of the times I keep my feelings to myself and my thoughts to myself because one, I feel like the world really don't give no fuck what men think or feel most of the time. And two, I feel like I don't think a lot of people have the emotional or mental state to really deal with some of the thoughts that I be having because I be thinking deep as fuck. So I do things to get that energy out. Like what Rico was saying that a psychologist was telling him that he needs to, in order to make his brain last longer, he needs to get that shit out of him. I put that shit into like art or whatever I'm trying to do, hiking or whatever, you know what I'm saying, just to get it out of my mind. And sometimes it's going to even sound crazy, but I might even talk to myself when I'm alone, you know what I mean? Just to get it out of me because I feel like my thoughts could drive somebody else crazy. So I really try not to put that kind of stuff on other people, but it is good to get it out. Now, in terms of like I seen a comment like we're hiking, I don't think people would just have to like shut the fuck up. But sometimes you just need to take in the ambiance of the of your surroundings, man. You don't have to always talk, but talking is cool. It's not bad. Even though I was saying stuff about women talking, you know what I'm saying? Like I went hiking with two women, and it was cool. I mean, they was talking about woman stuff. It didn't bother me none. I was laughing, having fun with them. I mean, we still people, but when I go, I'll be quiet just to take in certain things, you know what I'm saying? But it is good to talk to people about your thoughts and your feelings. Even if you feel like a lot of people is not going to understand, I've learned that it's still good to just put it out there, man.
And I'm gonna say this, and then we'll see what Creed. I mean, I'm thinking that if you're the person, and it's just me, if those grudges and those things and those thoughts that you're holding in, if it's affecting your lifestyle, then by all means talk to somebody. I
Mm.
got shit in that's not affecting my lifestyle. So I don't believe in talking to no fucking counselor. That's just me. I don't want to talk to one. People on the podcast before said how counselors help. If I want to talk to a counselor, somebody I just go and sit in the room and do like Seven was saying, not sit in the room, but I talk to my damn self. But
Mhm.
that's just me. So my thing is, when Rico was saying something about, the brain or losing some brain or whatever, something, then I may be losing some, but I may not be. But my thing is, it doesn't affect my life. I got people right now that I can't fucking stand. They don't even know it, but they didn't done something a while back. I didn't deleted the motherfucker. Don't have their phone number no more, whatever. But it hadn't affected my life. I would cut them off. I cut off family. I would cut a motherfucker off quicker than quick. You know. But it doesn't affect my life. So if it's affecting your life and your sleep and your job and all this other stuff like that, hey, you might need to get some help and talk to somebody if that's what you like to do. I hold my shit in, and if I let it out, I'm not that violent type. So nobody's gonna get shot, kicked, cussed at, fussed at, and none of that shit. Even if I get a little tipsy, hell, I'm probably just gonna go to fucking sleep because I don't let alcohol make me violent. So, but that's just my thought on that. And anybody got anything else before we close out?
I like to say, good job on talking to yourself. I do it every day.
You
I
And I
do
talking to
know
too.
me or
for a
Seven?
fact that it will bother you and mess with you physically if you are holding in feelings and emotions mentally. I know that for a fact. And
Yes,
you might not think it's affecting your body, but it is.
very much
Do
so.
the research.
Yes.
Well,
Also, if you like, especially like you hurting or something, like Seven said, he was dealing with a death and he just dealing with it by himself, and it sent him into diabetic coma. He could have died. Like this, it affects you physically, so it's really not harmful or hurtful to actually talk to somebody that you care about and that you trust with the information. I think we all should have a person like that. All of us should have a person like that. I'm talking to Paul. Look, I'm trying to get close.
why you looking at me like that? Making me feel like that preacher giving that sermon. Well, we
Seriously though, you
yeah,
don't think it's affecting you, but it does, whether you want it to or not.
right. And I hear what you're saying, and we gonna pass the collection plate and raise the offering here in a few more minutes on that. But until it does,
Yeah.
then I'll deal with that when it comes. But I'm telling you, I've been through, seen, done a whole lot of shit, but none of it has affected me. But y'all are saying it may, hey, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But I'm just telling you what I know. I'm still pushing. I'm still going. I'm still working, and I find other ways to keep my mind busy. So, but that's just how I do it. All righty. With that being said, I think everybody's done with it. So let's go and get some closing comments, and then we're gonna get ready to get on up out of here. And so we got to start with the 3, 2, 1, boom to get ready to close some comments out on us.
All right, y'all. I think y'all should start with self love, taking care of yourself, doing things you like and that you love doing, trying to remain positive no matter what you're going through. And please don't look like what you're going through, because I try not to do that. I try to stay positive, remain positive, exude positivity, do something nice for somebody that you get nothing in return from. Like help a stranger. Like you let the kid talk to you, let them vent to you. Like these things are planting seeds in people's life that you have no idea what it's going to grow to. Somebody is going to always remember how you made them feel, not by what you said, but how you made them feel. So just be great and continue to lead with love, whatever that looks like, in a healthy manner. Thank you, Paul, once again. It's nice to see you, Seven. Rico, always a pleasure. And yes, I will be at Taco Tuesday tomorrow, and I'm having one drink.
Yeah, well, with that one drink, whatever. Y'all see how she held that in right there. We're gonna ask Janice about that. Janice, go out there and monitor that one drink and
I'll
take the
be there.
twins.
I'll be there, Wizzo. I'll let you
I'm
know.
coming, Rico.
I'm gonna
Oh,
be there. I'm in Killeen now.
Oh
oh,
shit.
okay.
I
Oh
just got here.
there. Oh, okay, that's what's up. All right, then let's come up here to Rico. Rico, what you gonna close us out with?
I just want to close out with and to try to help our people. There is war coming to this country, and you need to prepare. You need to stockpile food, water, weapons, ammo. This whole country is going to get shut down. All these things, if you're not paying attention to the news, you need to. There's going to be a ripple effect from them taking the president of Venezuela. You need to start preparing your family to get ready. Stop wasting money on BS that you can get to do something where to help you when the power goes down, to help you when there's not any more food, to help you when people come and try to take your food, what you have, because that's going to happen as well. Start preparing your family, especially you men. If you're a single mother out there, start preparing your family. You need to probably move in with some family members if you can. Just prepare. There's something coming that we've never seen in this lifetime.
Covered that. And I think, Mark, is that you? Because I just talked to Seven and told Seven we ain't saw your ass in forever. And now I didn't talk you on up. Happy New Year, Mark. Welcome in. You coming in, we getting ready to get up out of here. But we always appreciate you because I know you'd have had a whole lot to say earlier. So, but welcome in. Welcome and thank you to all my viewers that's watching. All right, Seven, what you got before we closing us out with?
I think one of the best things that we could take away from today is that a lot of the situations we talked about, you really need to understand how to take personal accountability, not just for yourself, but also for the people around you, and to be able to see the signs that some people need you. You know what I'm saying? Like we have to see how to raise these kids, man, and understand them, and don't just look at them in a selfish manner like they're just somebody else's kids. Because at the end of the day, every kid that you help make a better person, you're helping this world become better. You know what I'm saying? And we really have to look at things like this, like, like, man, we don't be thinking about it, but we really should. And when I'm talking about taking personal accountability, it's also about not just keeping your thoughts in, man, sharing them, you know what I'm saying, and helping other people share their thoughts too, though. It's all how we become a better person, man. We really just need to take more time to think about this stuff and look at our communities around us. And I'm with Rico, man. Hey, prepare for the worst, because it's some spicy shit cooking, man. And then if you're not ready, then you're gonna be fucked up. Because if you're not ready, then and your neighbor not ready, y'all gonna definitely go at each other's heels, man. So we need to be more prepared, because it's gonna help us care about each other better.
Right, right. That's what's up. And I'm just gonna say something a little bit probably different, but if you have grandkids, my grandson, I think he's 14, 15, whatever. If you have younger kids, if you have teenage kids, and y'all, this is just me, let them know that you cannot trust the cop. If that kid is underage and he gets stopped by the cops or whatever, you make sure that you teach them to don't answer no questions. Just say, I need to call my mom or I need to call my dad or something like that.
Yep.
Cops stop you and they start building a case. They will lie to you to get what they want from you. So we have to make sure that we're teaching our kids. I told my grandson, I say, if you ever get stopped by the cops, something, you show them your ID, but don't answer nothing. Don't say nothing. Make sure you tell them you need to call your daddy or your mama because he's underage. And we need to let our teenagers know that 16, 17 or whatever, that even some of the grown people out there, you're not going to win that case out there on side of the road with that cop. So research the law. Rico, he I think he does a lot of research and stuff like that, And I've been doing a little bit of research. So find out that, hey, you don't have to give that police officer your driving license. You can display them in the window or something like that. And I say that because as soon as you get the rolling that window all the way down, it happened to me. He smelled marijuana coming from my car. How is that? I don't know, because I don't smoke and don't do nothing. Don't let nobody in my car that smoke or anything like that. So without going further in, all I'm saying is you can't trust the cops. You see, they've been going to jail right now. They've been doing wrong. They in Killeen, they doing wrong everywhere. They in Waco, it's a whole list. So all I'm saying is I'm mainly trying to look out for our kids. We need to educate our teenagers. Don't trust the cops. They're
Don't
not your
trust them.
friends.
They
They're
are not.
building a case. They're asking you questions that they should be talking to your parents about. With that being said, I want to thank all of our viewers for watching, whether y'all watching it now or whether y'all watching later. If you're watching it on Facebook, hey, click that link and subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow Paul Wizzo on YouTube also. Ain't nobody mad but the devil. Welcome to 2026. This was the first podcast of 2026. I have a shitload of lined up. This whole month is booked up with podcasts for me, one every week. So with that being said, hey, y'all, don't miss out. And you never know where it's going to go. Do not pay attention to the title. That shit changes. On Wizzo Talk is not all about me. I want to make sure that my guests have something to say also. With that being said, guys, I appreciate y'all. We will holler at y'all next time. Love, peace,
Peace.
hair grease. This